Bon Iver. I have not listened to Bon Iver, Bon Iver, in a very long time. And actually, I forget where he is from. Let me look that up real quick. He is from the U.S., Wisconsin. Okay. Bon Iver. And I used to listen to his music, a couple of his songs. I know I'm not very well versed in all things Bon Iver, but I've enjoyed the music that I've heard so far. And I got a really cool suggestion by my supporter, Jeff. Thank you for your support on my Buy Me a Coffee page, who asked me to check out Holocene. Did I say that right? What does the word Holocene mean and how do I pronounce it? It is the current geological Epoche, I want to say in German, beginning approximately 11,700 years ago, following the last major ice age. Yeah, look at me learning something new. Probably forgot all about this. And so it's basically an epoch, an era of history derived from the Greek. It means entirely new. Holos meaning whole, scene meaning new or recent. And I hope I'm saying it correctly in the English. Let me check. Holocene. Thank you, Jeff, for your suggestion. The writer-singer Justin Vernon said, Holocene is the name of a he's telling me. My bad, guys. It's a good example of how songs are meant to come together as this idea that places are time and people are place, that places are times and people are places and times are people. Oh, I'm getting very philosophical here. Our lives feel like these epochs, but in reality are so brief. We're dust in the wind. But I think there's a significance in that insignificance. Beautiful. That's what writer and singer Justin Vernon said. Thank you, Jeff, for that quote. That is a beautiful quote. And in light of that, let us listen to Bon Iver, Holocene. Oh, it's an official video. Bon Iver has such a unique voice and style. Soothing.
Fucked it, friend, it's on its head, it struck the street. You're in Milwaukee off your feet.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And once I knew I was not magnificent.
Wow, this is beautiful landscapes.
Straight above the highway.
Kids are just a miracle, guys. We got to protect them at all costs. They're our future, our hope.
Chicken bacon stick with us. And I could see for miles, miles, miles.
I'm going to pull up the lyrics real quick, you guys. And for copyright reasons, I want to make sure that I'm, pausing here and there. This song is so beautiful. It just makes you want to get lost in it. The music video, beautiful. The simplicity and innocence of that child. Getting up from his simple wooden bed, getting dressed for the day, looking outside, being present to the moment. Don't we so often just get up and rush into the day? And when kids wake up, a lot of times they do rush. Let's be honest. My kids are ready to go. But there's something beautiful about being present to all of that, from putting on your shoes to putting on your sweater to looking out the window as you start the day. And watching this child and the vastness that is nature and the beauty of our globe, it makes me think we really have to protect kids at all costs. And woe to anyone who hurts a child. Woe to anyone who steals their innocence in any shape or form. It makes me think they are our hope and we have to take care of them. There's something so beautiful about the timelessness and age of nature. He's walking through this mossy grass. He's the fog and the clouds, the mountains around. It's this ancient being, organism that is Earth, in contrast to this young boy, this new life. And it's very fitting, I feel, to the duality we see all around us between young and old, between death and life, and how it's all connected. Some way, baby, it's part of me, apart from me. Beautiful literary art here. Part of me, it belongs to me, apart from me, but also separate. You're laying waste to Halloween. You effed it, friend. It's on its head. It struck the street. You're in Milwaukee, off your feet. Very interesting lyrics in contrast to such a zen, calming, beautiful video. At once I knew I was not magnificent, straight above the highway aisle, jagged vaccine, thick with ice, but I could see for miles, miles, miles. Very poetic lyrics, and very interesting in light of this video. Interesting. Could maybe reference the Holocene, that epoch. I keep wanting to say the German word. After the Ice Age, right? Or before? After the last? Before the last Ice Age? The ripples when you skip a stone. A lot of symbolism there too. Ooh, the horns coming in here. With a saxophone. They're rolling, what is it, the hi-hats? They're rolling, what, snare drum? Lyrics aside, because I haven't analyzed those yet. I find it so beautiful that, like I said, the contrast between this ancient planet and this young boy, the rolling of the hi-hat, the guitar chord progression, and his voice, and how it all weaves together. And it's this duality for me of that ongoing snare, and how perhaps it's all connected, and how everything's connected, yeah. As above, so below, this idea of it's much more intricate. And that's why I find that such a contrast to saying in the lyrics, I'm not magnificent. Because I would think, when I look at all this, it's magnificent. And when we look at ourselves and the microorganisms and the intricate universes within ourselves and our network, just biology speaking alone, genetics, DNA, to me, that is magnificent. But I wonder what it's meant here in the lyrics. This is beautiful. I can see for miles.
Christmas night, clutch the light, the hollow bright.
Huh.
Above my brother, I'm saying it's fine. We smoked the screen to make you what it was to be. And I don't know what it is around.
Isn't this beautiful? How does this make you feel? Tell me in the comments.
Once I knew I was not magnificent. Take it back and stick with us. Yeah, I can see for miles, miles, miles.
Wow, that's interesting. That was interesting. Why is he asleep, or is this something else? This is so interesting. Third and Lake, it burnt away the hallway. It was where we learned to celebrate. Automatic bought the years you talk for me. That night you played me lip parade, not the needle, not the thread, the lost decree. Saying nothing, that's enough for me. And at once I knew I was not magnificent. Hold far from the highway aisle, jagged vacancy. Or thick with ice, but I could see for miles. Thick with ice that play on. Holocene, perhaps. Christmas night, it clutched the light, the hollow bright, above my brother, I and tangled spines. We smoked the screen to make it what it was to be, not to know it in my memory. And at once I knew I was not magnificent, high above the highway aisle. I am intrigued, but also confused. I am intrigued and confused by the meaning of this song because it's so poetic. The lyrics are so poetic. And I feel like this idea of I am insignificant or I'm not magnificent would be that feeling you perhaps get when you're in nature like that little boy and you realize just how small we are. You feel insignificant or inferior. But at the same time, I think when we see that kind of awe, wouldn't it evoke even more awe about everything around us and ourselves? Because we're part of that system. I'm not separate from the ecosystem. We have multiple universes even within ourselves. The fact that we wouldn't be here without a 1 in a 400 trillion or 14 trillion, 140 trillion, I don't know, chance. Either way, a huge, huge number or a tiny, tiny, tiny chance that we would even be here out of all the possibilities. And the microorganisms and the systems and the universe that is within ourselves that allows for human beings to exist. It makes me think when I see all of that nature and you get lost in it and you ponder the decades and millennia that have passed since the beginning, since the Holocene age and beyond. It makes you feel small, but at the same time, doesn't it make it all the more magnificent? Not only all of that, but us ourselves too, that we are still here. But I guess there is that duality, that on one hand you feel in awe of the systems that are around and within us, but at the same time insignificant. It is said that it is an introspective song about humility, redemption, and realizing one's smallness in the grand scale of time and space. It addresses overcoming a dark night of the soul by accepting personal insignificance as a source of comfort. I find this very interesting because in one of my background talking videos, I talked about that, how the transiency of things can be scary, but also bring comfort. And here I'm seeing this. So it says that the lyrics contrast personal, sometimes flawed memories, darkness, jagged vacancy, with a massive, indifferent natural world. That I could see. That's very interesting. You effed it, friend. It's on its head. It struck the street. You're in Milwaukee off your feet. At once I knew I was not magnificent, straight above the highway aisle. Jagged vacancy, thick with ice. Interesting to interpret that as those jagged memories I could see from miles and miles. Something being jagged and thick with ice and yet seeing clear. I could see that symbolizing a lot of contrast. Where we learned to celebrate, automatic bought the years you'd talk for me. Not the needle, not the thread, the lost decree, saying nothing, that's enough for me. Yeah, being in awe where you have nothing left to say, perhaps, I could see for miles and miles. It is interesting how when you are in awe of the world around and you realize just how small you are, that it leaves us in awe and speechless. And at the same time, I think, can bring comfort of realizing just how that there is hope, that if we feel overwhelmed by a moment in time, that we can maybe remember that time and space is a construct we've created and that all we have is the right now. And right now, you're okay and you're loved and you're still breathing. There can be a lot of comfort in that. Very poetic song. Thank you for that, Jeff, for this suggestion and for your support. What do you guys think about this song? How do you feel when you're surrounded by nature or you see a music video like that or you travel somewhere and you experience the world? How does it make you feel? And how do you interpret that feeling of insignificance? Do you feel insignificant or less than? Or do you feel small and humbled? Or do you feel even more miraculous? Where does your mind tend to go? And how does that bring you comfort? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for your support. Make sure to subscribe. And I will see you on the next ride. Heyo!